Welcome back, everyone! Today, we're diving into one of the most captivating topics in entertainment: celebrity reunions. Whether it's our favorite TV show cast getting back together decades later, former bandmates setting aside their differences, or feuding co-stars finally making peace, these reunions give us all the feels. From heartwarming reconciliations that make us cry happy tears, to awkward encounters that make us cringe, and unexpected reunions that leave us absolutely shocked, we're covering it all. So grab your popcorn and settle in as we explore the good, the bad, and the completely unexpected celebrity reunions that have captured our attention. The reunion that made us all cry when the cast of Friends reunited in 2021 for the 20th anniversary special on HBO Max. Fans around the world collectively lost their minds. The special brought together Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, David Schwimmer, and the late Matthew Perry for an emotional trip down memory lane. What made this reunion so special wasn't just seeing the cast back on the recreated sets of Monica's apartment and Central Perk. It was the genuine love and friendship that still existed between them. The special revealed that the cast had only met up once together in the 17 years since the show ended, making this reunion even more meaningful. Lisa Kudrow shared that when they finally got together after a decade, it felt like they hadn't missed a beat. The chemistry was still there, the jokes still landed, and the tears flowed freely. The special featured behind-the-scenes stories, favorite moments, and heartfelt tributes. Emma Watson and Daniel Radcliffe's reflections on growing up on screen resonated with the Friends cast, who also came of age in the spotlight. Sadly, this reunion has taken on even greater significance following Matthew Perry's passing in 2023. The special now serves as a beautiful final gathering of all 6 friends, making it a treasured keepsake for fans. The reunion proved that some shows don't just create characters we love, they create families that last forever. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, a reconciliation years in the making. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion special in 2020 wasn't just about nostalgia, it was about healing old wounds. When Will Smith brought the cast back together for the show's 30th anniversary, there was one person everyone was watching for: Janet Hubert, the original Aunt Vivian. For years, there had been bad blood between Smith and Hubert after she left the show in 1993. The feud was public and messy, with both sides trading barbs in the media for nearly 3 decades. But during this reunion special, something remarkable happened. Smith and Hubert sat down together for an honest, raw conversation about what went wrong. Hubert opened up about the personal struggles she was facing at the time, including an abusive marriage and financial difficulties. She explained that she wasn't actually fired, but was offered what she described as a bad deal to return and chose to walk away. Smith, for his part, admitted that he was a young, immature 21-year-old who didn't understand what his TV mom was going through and regrets the role he played in painting her as difficult. The conversation was unlike anything typically seen in reunion specials, which usually focus only on happy memories. This was real, uncomfortable at times, but ultimately healing. When they embraced at the end of their talk, there wasn't a dry eye watching. The reunion also featured a moving tribute to James Avery, who played Uncle Phil and passed away in 2013. His presence was deeply felt throughout the special, reminding everyone of the family they created together. Harry Potter returned to Hogwarts 20 years after the first Harry Potter film hit theaters. The main cast reunited for an emotional special on HBO Max in January 2022. Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint returned to the iconic sets at Warner Bros. Studio Tour London, joined by cast members including Helena Bonham Carter, Ralph Fiennes, Gary Oldman, Tom Felton, and many others. The reunion was a love letter to the franchise and the fans who grew up alongside these characters. The trio reflected on how they literally grew up on these sets, from children to adults, all while becoming global superstars. Emma Watson shared her early crush on Tom Felton, while Rupert Grint talked about the challenges of fame at such a young age. Director Chris Columbus and the other filmmakers joined in, sharing production stories and behind-the-scenes moments that fans had never heard before. The special paid tribute to those who had passed away, including Alan Rickman, Richard Harris, Helen McCrory, and Richard Griffiths. Their absence was felt, but their contributions were celebrated beautifully. What made this reunion particularly special was how it showcased the genuine bonds formed during filming. These actors didn't just work together, they became a family. David Yates described them as astronauts because nobody else had experienced what they had on this scale. The reunion proved that the magic of Harry Potter extended far beyond the screen. Music reunions Oasis and Linkin Park make historic returns in the music world. 2024 and 2025 brought two of the most anticipated reunions in rock history. After 15 years of bitter feuding, brothers Liam and Noel Gallagher announced that Oasis would reunite for a 2025 tour. The announcement broke the internet, with all tour dates selling out within 10 hours. The Gallagher brothers' legendary fights had become almost as famous as their music, making this reconciliation one of the most unexpected and celebrated reunions in music history. Meanwhile, Linkin Park made an emotional return in 2025, 7 years after the tragic passing of Chester Bennington. The band introduced Emily Armstrong as their new lead vocalist, a decision that sparked both excitement and some controversy among longtime fans. Their 2025 world tour became one of the most anticipated musical events of the year, proving that the band's legacy continues to resonate with millions. The Cure also surprised fans with their first new album in 16 years, Songs of a Lost World, with frontman Robert Smith promising 2 more albums are on the way. These reunions show that sometimes the best things are worth the wait. Sex and the City. When not everyone comes back, not all reunions are happy occasions, and the Sex and the City revival proved that sometimes the magic can't be recaptured. The relationship between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall had been deteriorating for years, with Cattrall eventually deciding not to participate in a third movie or the HBO Max revival series. And just like that, what should have been a triumphant return became a story about who wasn't there. Cattrall made it clear in interviews that she was never friends with her co-stars, just colleagues, a statement that visibly hurt Parker. The tension highlighted how on-screen chemistry doesn't always translate to real-life friendships. The revival moved forward without Samantha Jones, Cattrall's iconic character, and while the show addressed her absence, many fans felt the dynamic was fundamentally broken. When Parker was asked about Cattrall's comments, she simply said she was heartbroken. The situation showed that sometimes the behind-the-scenes reality is very different from what audiences see on screen. 2.5 Men, the reunion that almost didn't happen. Few celebrity feuds have been as public and explosive as the one between Charlie Sheen and 2.5 Men creator Chuck Lorre. In 2011, Sheen went on a very public meltdown, calling Lorre horrible names during interviews and boasting about tiger blood and winning. CBS fired Sheen, and his character was killed off in a bizarre fashion when the show continued with Ashton Kutcher. For over a decade, the two didn't speak. Sheen sued for wrongful termination. They settled out of court, and it seemed like any reconciliation was impossible. Lorre admitted he couldn't even watch reruns of the show because it was too painful, despite creating 170 successful episodes together. Then something unexpected happened. In 2023, Lorre reached out to Sheen about appearing on his new show, Bookie. Nervously, they reconnected and discovered that their old friendship was still there, buried under years of hurt and anger. When they reunited at the table read, they hugged, and Lorre described it as healing. Sheen made a surprise cameo in Bookie alongside Angus T. Jones, recreating a memorable scene from the 2.5 Men pilot. It was a full-circle moment that showed reconciliation is possible even after the worst public feuds. However, there's still tension. John Cryer, Sheen's former co-star, stated in early 2025 that he and Sheen don't have a relationship anymore, showing that not all wounds from that era have healed. Sheen has expressed interest in a full 2.5 Men reunion, saying it would be wild and that he wants to do it as a gift to the fans. Whether it happens remains to be seen, but the fact that he and Lorre made peace is already remarkable. The Charmed controversy. The behind-the-scenes drama of Charmed resurfaced in 2023 when Shannon Doherty's former co-star Holly Marie Combs alleged that Alyssa Milano had given producers an ultimatum to choose between herself and Doherty, leading to Doherty's departure in 2001. Milano denied having the power to get anyone fired, and called the claims revisionist history. Doherty, sadly, passed away in 2024 after a long battle with cancer, and the feud was never fully resolved. The situation highlighted how decades-old conflicts can resurface, and how sometimes reunions reveal more pain than joy. It served as a reminder that not every cast is a happy family, and not every reunion is about healing. Celebrity feuds turned friendships. Some of the most unexpected reunions come from celebrities who once couldn't stand each other. Taylor Swift and Katy Perry famously feuded for years, with Swift's song Bad Blood allegedly inspired by their falling out over backup dancers and competing tours. But in 2018, before Swift's Reputation tour, Perry sent her a literal olive branch. Swift posted a video showing her genuine surprise and emotion at the gesture. The two have since reconciled and moved past their beef. Similarly, Elton John and Madonna, who traded insults for years with Elton calling out her lip, syncing and Madonna firing back, eventually made peace. These reconciliations show that even the most public feuds can end with mutual respect. Drake and Kendrick Lamar, the hip-hop battle in 2024. The music world was shocked when Drake and Kendrick Lamar, who had collaborated early in their careers, engaged in one of the most intense rap feuds in recent history. The two released multiple diss tracks with shocking allegations and personal attacks. Kendrick's Not Like Us became an anthem, debuting at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. What made this unexpected was how close they once seemed. They had featured on each other's tracks and appeared to have mutual respect. The feud showed that even seemingly solid friendships can fracture in the competitive world of hip-hop. As of late 2024, there was no sign of reconciliation, with both artists continuing to take shots at each other. The Strictly Come Dancing scandal in 2024, Amanda Abbington's departure from Strictly Come Dancing, and her subsequent allegations against professional dancer Giovanni Pernis created an unexpected situation. After leaving the show citing personal reasons, it emerged that there had been serious concerns about their working relationship. The BBC launched an investigation, ultimately upholding some allegations while clearing Pernis of others. What was unexpected was how a beloved dance show became the center of a controversy about workplace conduct. The situation led to no real reunion between the parties, but it sparked important conversations about professional boundaries and behavior on reality TV shows. Robert Pattinson, The Missing Reunion. One of the most unexpected absences from a reunion was Robert Pattinson not appearing in the Harry Potter 20th anniversary special. Despite playing Cedric Diggory in one of the franchise's most memorable and tragic storylines, Pattinson was nowhere to be seen. Fans speculated he was too busy preparing for his role as Batman, but his absence was felt. Given Pattinson's reputation for giving unhinged and hilarious interviews about his past work, many fans were disappointed not to hear his take on his Hogwarts days. His friendship with Daniel Radcliffe made his absence even more surprising. Sometimes the most unexpected thing about a reunion is who doesn't show up. Band reunions with new members. Linkin Park's 2025 return with Emily Armstrong as lead vocalist was both celebrated and controversial. Some fans embraced the change, understanding that moving forward was what Chester Bennington would have wanted. Others felt that replacing such an iconic voice was impossible and questioned whether it was really a reunion or just a rebranding. This highlighted an unexpected reality about reunions. Sometimes they involve change rather than returning to exactly what was. The debate around Armstrong joining the band showed that nostalgia and progress can be at odds, and not everyone will be happy with evolution. When Matt LeBlanc couldn't stop crying during the Friends reunion, Matt LeBlanc, known for playing the goofy Joey Tribbiani, broke down multiple times. Seeing the usually comedic actor so emotional hit fans hard. He spoke about how Friends changed his life and how much the cast meant to him. These moments of raw emotion made the reunion feel authentic and showed that the bonds formed during those 10 years were real. The Fresh Prince tribute to James Avery. The tribute to James Avery during the Fresh Prince reunion was devastating in the best way. The cast watched a video montage celebrating Uncle Phil, and every single person was in tears. Will Smith, who had shared so many scenes with Avery, was visibly shaken. Alfonso Ribeiro spoke about how Avery was a father figure on set, and the loss was felt deeply by everyone. It was a reminder that some cast members become family, and their absence leaves a permanent void. Emma Watson's confession about Tom Felton during the Harry Potter reunion. Emma Watson opened up about her childhood crush on Tom Felton. Felton, who played her character's antagonist Draco Malfoy, was aware of her feelings at the time. The two have remained close friends, with Watson describing their relationship as one of the purest loves she can think of. Felton echoed this sentiment, saying they're soulmates who always have each other's backs. Their friendship showed that sometimes the best relationships that come from shows aren't romantic, but deeply platonic. The Office, still waiting despite constant fan demand. The Office cast has never done a full official reunion special. While cast members occasionally get together and post pictures on social media, there hasn't been a comprehensive retrospective like Friends or Fresh Prince received. John Krasinski and Jenna Fischer have both said they'd be open to it, but coordinating everyone's schedules has proven difficult. Some fans remain hopeful, while others worry that too much time has passed. Seinfeld, the show about nothing stays nothing. Jerry Seinfeld has been notoriously resistant to any kind of Seinfeld reunion beyond the 2009 Curb Your Enthusiasm arc, where the cast reunited within that show's universe. Despite being one of the most influential sitcoms of all time, a proper reunion seems unlikely. Seinfeld has stated multiple times that he believes in leaving things in the past and not trying to recapture old magic. After looking at all these reunions, the good, the bad, and the unexpected, some patterns emerge about what makes a reunion work. Authenticity is key. The best reunions don't try to pretend that everything was perfect. The Fresh Prince reunion worked because Will Smith and Janet Hubert had a real conversation about real problems. The Friends reunion succeeded because they acknowledged how rare their bond was and didn't take it for granted. Timing matters. Reunions that happen at the right moment, when enough time has passed for perspective, but not so much that the relevance is gone, tend to resonate more. 20 years seems to be a sweet spot, as both Friends and Harry Potter proved. It's about the fans too. The best reunions acknowledge that these shows and bands meant something to millions of people. When cast members talk about fan letters or share stories about how the show impacted lives, it creates a connection that goes beyond just nostalgia. Not everyone needs to come back. Sometimes absences are okay if they're handled with grace. The Harry Potter reunion worked even though some cast members weren't there. What matters is acknowledging those who can't make it while celebrating those who can. Healing old wounds. Some of the most powerful reunions involve reconciliation. Watching former enemies make peace, whether it's Will Smith and Janet Hubert or Chuck Lorre and Charlie Sheen, reminds us that forgiveness is possible and that time can heal even the deepest wounds. As streaming services continue to look for content that drives subscriptions, we can expect more reunion specials in the future. Shows from the 1990s and 2000s are hitting their 20th and 30th anniversaries, making them prime candidates for retrospectives. There's already talk of potential reunions for shows like The Office, Parks and Recreation, and 30 Rock. Band reunions continue to surprise us, with speculation about groups like the Smiths potentially setting aside decades of differences. The question is whether these reunions will maintain their special quality or become so common that they lose their magic. Part of what makes reunions special is their rarity. If every show from every era gets a reunion special, will audiences still care? What can we learn from watching celebrities reunite after years apart? People can change. Charlie Sheen and Chuck Lorre showed that even after the most toxic fallout, people can grow, mature, and find their way back to each other. It doesn't erase what happened, but it proves that change is possible. Some relationships are worth fighting for. The cast of Friends only met up once in 17 years, yet when they reunited, the bond was still there. Real connections don't disappear just because people get busy or life gets in the way. Nostalgia is powerful. These reunions work because they tap into our own memories and experiences. We're not just watching actors get back together, we're remembering where we were when we first watched these shows, who we watched them with, and how they made us feel. Not everything can be fixed. The Sex and the City situation and the ongoing tension from 2.5 Men show that not all relationships can be repaired. Sometimes people grow apart or hurt each other too deeply, and that's okay too. Not every story has a happy ending. Life is short. The presence of tributes to deceased cast members in almost every reunion is a sobering reminder that time is precious. James Avery, Matthew Perry, Alan Rickman, Shannon Doherty. These losses make the reunions that do happen even more meaningful. Celebrity reunions give us something special, the chance to reconnect with characters and moments that shaped our lives while seeing how the actors who brought them to life have grown and changed. Whether they're heartwarming like Friends, healing like Fresh Prince, or complicated like Two and a Half Men, each reunion tells a story about relationships, forgiveness, nostalgia, and the passage of time. The good reunions remind us why we fell in love with these shows in the first place. The bad ones show us that not everything can be recaptured, and the unexpected ones surprise us by proving that people and circumstances can change in ways we never imagined. As we look forward to future reunions, whether it's your favorite band getting back together or a beloved TV show cast reuniting for an anniversary special, remember that these moments are gifts. They're chances to revisit cherished memories while creating new ones. So the next time you hear about a celebrity reunion, whether it makes you excited, nervous, or skeptical, remember that underneath all the publicity and the streaming deals, these reunions are about people. People who worked together, became friends, sometimes became enemies, and now have the chance to look back on what they created together. And isn't that what makes them so compelling? They remind us of our own lives, our own friendships, and our own chances for reconciliation and reconnection. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through celebrity reunions. If you enjoyed this, make sure to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What's your favorite celebrity reunion? Which one are you still waiting to happen? Let me know! Until next time, remember the show might have ended, but the memories last forever.